Oh, there we go. Now does the sound work? I am an idiot. I had my sound muted. Oh well, anyways, what's up everybody? Welcome to Monster Monday. It is going to be one of those kind of days, I guess. Let me know if the sound works now. I didn't realize it wasn't working. So, I'm a professional, I promise. But anyways, Stefan, welcome to the stream. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. But over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm just going to talk about all the things I'm doing in the background, all of the things I have been doing, some convention prep, some exciting marketing stuff, and all those cool things. But to start out, let's just go ahead and see what I've been working on. So, much better. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, my friend. Um, Starting out, I want to show y'all what I've been working on here. And boom. So I think I showed this um, in the other live stream that I had here, but I wanted to show you guys Punch Kick Block officially has a retractable banner. This will be the first game, the first physical box game that I release, ideally Q4 of this year. Price point's going to change for now because of the tariffs in the US and all that stuff that I'm currently dealing with and trying to wait and see where the price settles on that. But that'll be on Kickstarter, probably Q4 of this year. I'm currently working with a couple different manufacturers. I haven't decided who I'm going to go with yet, but I'm looking at Watts Games, I'm looking at Long Pack, and then I'm looking at Panda Games manufacturing for this game. So we will have to see. We will have to see where I go with that. All three quotes are good. But we'll find out. So that's really exciting. Also, that's my daughter. She's adorable. Just pick and choose. The next thing, boom, bah, 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 drop the mic. I'm super pumped. My tablecloth showed up. It's fantastic. The colors don't give it justice. This looks red in the picture here, but it's perfectly pink. The teal is exactly the way I wanted it, and everything is going really well. And so I was able to yesterday mock up what games I want demoed on the table, and it takes up half the space, and then the other half will be for the POS system and the signage and extra stuff like that. So that'll be super exciting as well. I decided to go with the stretch tablecloth just simply because it looks more professional in my opinion. And the loose tablecloth would just be, a little more uncomfortable to maneuver around. So I think this one worked really well. So I'm super excited to see that. Let me pull up something really quick. I'm going to pull up. Yeah. So Stefan, you have any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm currently trying to look up the character sheet here. There it is. Open. Okay. Whoop. Not yet. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is you can adopt a monster now. So I'm really excited for this initiative. I love gamifying things, and what better way to get people on the email list than to let them adopt monsters and give them something in return for basically letting me have the email for marketing promotions once a month. So if you wanted to adopt a monster, it's really easy. So essentially, I have on my website, I'll pull that up here in a second. If you want to adopt a monster, you need to go to this website right here. Share my screen. Boom. So go to this website. If you go to monstergames.com, so that's MNSTR Games.com. You know what? I actually can type it in the chat here, / So if you do that, if you go to monstergames.com / adopt a monster, you can actually apply here. Feel free to donate if you want. All that goes back into funding the company. And then when you do, I'm going to send you a certificate of your adoption, as well as a little flavor text and a little lore of your monster. So as you can see down here on the website, we already have a few monsters adopted. So we have Tech, and then if you click here, you can see read more, and it pulls up a PDF that you probably can't see with some lore and everything instead. So right here, if you click on that on the website, it'll show you the official adoption paperwork, and then you have some lore around that character. The cool thing about these characters is that long term, I'm going to bring in games that have these characters included in them. They're called Hybers, and they're from my board game hype community. So now that you are officially adopting them, they're going to be in future games. And so I can put them in knowing that you adopted them. So we have Tech, Baltazar, Chubby, and CBG SSYA, and then Henrietta are the first few monsters. So if you wanted to do that, go ahead. It's absolutely free unless you want to donate. It's on my website, just monstergames.com/adopt a monster. That is the adoption. Next thing I want to share is it's been a long time coming. Oh boy, has it been a long time coming. But Puka is finally done. I love Puka. This is probably my favorite character now of 4 Montoons. This is actually Andrew's original designed character before he went away. Let's see. How many monsters? It's only 1 monster per person. So if you wanted to adopt 4 monsters, if you have 4 kids, well, each of them can adopt 1 monster. So that's up to you. But each person can have 1. So Puka is finally done. I'm super excited. And if you like fishing or if you like any sort of mini games in games, well, Puka is that character for you because what's really exciting, they have a fishing mechanism and a bait mechanism. I'll just go over each of those really quickly. So fishing, what that means is you have to be adjacent to a water hex and you have to have an action that goes fishing. What you do is roll a dice. You gain half the value of that dice rounded down in fish. You put those fish in this tackle box. Yes, it's a tackle box. You put the fish in the tackle box. So you write that number, and then you can use those fish. It's like a resource management character. You can use those fish to either spend to do blitz. You can spend to move again up here in the movement. Or you can do other things like deal damage equal to the fish caught. So when you go fishing, you can either do basic fishing or perfect cast fishing. And that's down here on the special attack. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Yeah. We'll zoom in, down. I don't know what's going on with this square box over here. Can I move my character? Ah, no, that didn't work. I promise I'm a professional. Okay, it's not going to work. But anyway, so right down here in this perfect cast. So what you do is when you go fishing, you have to assign a die there of equal to or higher value than the dice listed. So if it's a 3, you have to assign a 3 or higher to actually have that go through. Then in your action phase, when you go fishing, you have to be within range, exact range of a water hex in order to cross that off. So with this character, in order to make this work, you have to assign a die of 3 or higher to this dice slot. Then in your action phase, you have to go fishing using your Pro Angler passive ability or your movement ability. Then if you're in range of 1 of a water hex, boom, all 3 of those align. You can cross that off and you officially go fishing. Once you have all 3 of those crossed off, you circle this as available. And now once on your turn, you can deal damage equal to the fish caught. So if you have 8 fish in your tackle box here, you deal 8 damage to a single target. Then you can pull 3 a different target. So it's super fun. You basically attack someone with fish, and it's a fun little idea. Bait is as simple as you're targeting a hex within that range. So you're going to target a hex within range of 3. And then you're going to move any one player from anywhere on the map up to this many spaces or this many hexes based on the value towards the targeted hex. So you're going to target a hex in range of 3. Then you're going to take one character, move them up to 2 hexes towards that hex. So basically, you move them into a spike pit, they deal damage, etc., all that fun stuff. So that is how bait is working. The other things you can do is on your turn, you can either heal or go fishing based on a die roll. The waystone, like normal, you gain fish. And then finally, the ultimate is super fun when it goes off. It's you bait 3, so you move people into the position. Then you're going to roll a die. And for each player next to a water hex, they take damage equal to the die. So if you roll a 6, they're going to take 6 damage. Plus, you can spend 2 of that fish to add 4 damage to that. So it's very much, you can deal 10 damage to a target or to multiple targets. And that's essentially a finisher. That finishing blow, you'll most likely defeat all of your opponents that way. So that is Puka, 15 life, 10-7-4 for the Golden Hearts. Such a fun character. And alongside this, so this character is going to be released in Q2. So I believe I'm releasing on April 2nd. I do not want to release this character on April Fool's Day because people are going to be like, wait, is this a real character? And I'm like, yes, this is an official character you're going to be able to purchase down the road. So this is going to be released to everyone, future content that was on the Kickstarter campaign. Otherwise, it'll be available on my website as well, monstergames.com. Alongside this, I'm going to have a little promo That is going to be a Kraken. So specifically for Puka, my buddy came up with this idea and I loved it. If you fish a Whirlpool Hex, normally you can't fish a Whirlpool Hex. But with Puka, if you fish a Whirlpool Hex, you're going to get, instead of getting fish or anything like that, you get a little Kraken character. And that Kraken character goes on the board and it has a passive movement and then it chooses. So Puka is choosing the path the opponent uses. So Puka is choosing the path the opponent uses. So yes, exactly. I think you get to choose where they move, and you have to take the shortest route possible. So they will move around obstacles and everything like that. So I believe yes is the answer. So they'll have a little Kraken promo that if you fish into a Whirlpool Hex, you get that Kraken promo. You can tease it on April 1st. Very true. Yes, I can do that. And then it's super fun because the Kraken can be activated by anyone on their turn, and it's going to be able to move to a Whirlpool Hex or a Water Hex and then do damage, a small amount of damage, like 2 damage, and do something fun to another person. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be cool. It's going to use my Kraken MNSTR Games tentacle as the main art, since I don't want to pay for artwork for that for this thing. So that is Puka in a nutshell. I'm going to tease it on April 1st, like you said, and then the official release will be on April 2nd of this year. I don't have the character sheet for Stefan, your character, yet. I have some ideas. I've been working on it, but your character will be released in Q3, which I believe is going to be June. It's going to be July, around July area when your character is going to be released. And let me know what you want me to name that character as well. Then we're going to look at Kava. Check it out. This is the first time you guys are seeing Kava's character sheet. This is the character that is going to be released in Q4 of this year. So after the expansion, the Guardians expansion happens. The Guardians expansion is all about the Waystone being affected by blight and poison, and that's because of this character. And so after that Guardians expansion releases, people get all their files. Kava will be released as the first character after that. And so it'll thematically tie in really well. Why are these being poisoned? Well, it's because of this stupid little spider character, the spider monster. This is temporary artwork. My artist is going to be working on it later on. But Kava's character sheet is all about poison and toxic, basically. So at the start of each round, all Montoons adjacent to Kava gain poison. Well, how does poison work? Well, poison was introduced, will be introduced with this expansion. And how it works is every character sheet is going to have a little poison box in their status effects bar. So when you're inflicted with poison, you're going to write whatever number that is. If it's poison 2, you will write 2 in the poison box. At the end of your turn, you're going to erase that poison, take that much damage, and reduce it by 1. So at the end of your turn, you would take 2 damage, reduce it by 1, so you'd write 1 instead. On your next turn, well, now that's only a 1, so you're going to reduce it by 1, take 1 damage. Poison does stack, though. So you can have 1 poison here, plus you can inflict poison 2 or poison 3, dealing 4 poison to a character, and then over 3 turns, they're going to take a bunch of damage. And there's no way to get rid of poison. It's persistent. So super strong, super fun, really kind of annoying to mess around with, but it's a fun mechanic. So this character is immune to poison damage because it makes sense, right? On the movement, you're going to be able to place poison tokens. These tokens will be anything you have around the house. You're going to place them on hexes, and these tokens basically act like traps. So when players move through them, they go away and they are inflicted with poison based on the amount of tokens on that hex. So if there is 3 tokens on a hex and someone moves through that that hex, they will remove the tokens, they will gain 3 poison. That's kind of how those tokens will work. If it's just an instance of poison, you don't have tokens, you just inflict poison that way. Kava will have a movement that is specifically a jump 4 movement. So I wanted the spider to be a little more limited with their movement for the special move. So the idea is you're going to jump 4. So the spider is going to jump up to 4 spaces, ignoring obstacles and terrain movement. Then they're going to inflict entangle on 2 targets within range of 3. So the idea is you jump, you spring into action, you entangle 2 different targets. Then you use your sticky web to inflict entangle if they're not entangled yet. But if the target is already entangled, you're going to deal damage equal to the die value. So if you place a 4 here, they're going to take 4 damage. So the idea is you go over there, you entangle the character, then you inflict entangle, and then if they're already entangled, you deal damage. So it's kind of like a setup turn. Spit Poison simply puts out more poison tokens. And then the final thing that's very new and that's exciting is Weaver's Gambit. So every other character sheet right now has 2 different places they can use for moves, but I was like, let's give Kava one central idea with basically a network of hexes, a network of characters stuff you can do. So on this sheet right here, notice how there's a web. So there's a called the Weaver's Gambit. This web, once per turn, you can assign up to 2 dice there. For each die, you fill in one shape corresponding to its number based on the evens or odds. So the idea is if you place a 1 and a 2, you can cross off one box that is evens and one box that is odds. So anything with an E is evens, anything with an O is odds. So if you have a 1 and a 2, well, the 1 you'll be able to cross off any box on here. Let's just say I cross off this one right here. Then with the 2, I can cross off this evens, or I could do 1 here and then 2 here. And if I cross off both of these surrounding a bonus, just like the bonus things, I will gain that bonus right there. So if I get a 1 here and a 2 there, I'm going to fill in that web line, and then I gain a berry bonus. If I get all 3, just like normal character attacks, I mark this as available and then cross it off. And then on once per turn, I can use either of these abilities, the top or the bottom. Stefan asks, can you poison an entangled character? Yes, you can. Because poison, entangle, and all those status effects are separate, someone that is entangled can be poisoned. Because down here, as you notice in this little static bar, this is the entangle symbol. On other character sheets, they will have a poison symbol here as well. So there'll be a poison box. So if all things happen in one turn, you can be poisoned, stunned, you have guard, burned, and entangled all in one turn. It's very, very, very rare. But in a multiplayer game, that definitely could happen if someone was picking on you. So it gets pretty crazy. So poison is the scariest of them all because you cannot get rid of them. It's persistent. So once you get poisoned, you kind of have to heal effectively, and you have basically a turn clock that you know about. So you have a certain amount of time before you die. So that's kind of how Weaver's Gambit special attack is going to work. It's super cool. The Waystone is going to work just like normal. The 2 boxes that you can start with the Waystone are in the center of the Waystone grid. So you will start here and you start marking adjacent to those boxes. We have some 6s right away. We have some 1s right here. And if you go off, some 2s and some 5s right there. So that is Kava. That is the character that is all about poison. I'm pretty pumped. It's been in my mind to design this for a while now. Ever since Kakoa was drafted up, I was like, hey, let's make Kava. And I know there's a lot of K names so far, but that'll go away next year. So that's essentially everything there that I wanted to talk about. In terms of what else I've been doing, so the other thing I've been doing is I officially have, I know this has been a long time coming, but I have the official how to play script video all written up, ready to go. I had to take my crazy long rule book, even though it has a lot of images and very good examples, it's still a long rule book. So I had to go through each of my pages and basically draft it up in a smaller version so that I can actually film this for YouTube and have an official how to play out there. I didn't have money to pay someone for how to play, so I had to do it myself. And because I had to do it myself, it's taking longer because I'm trying to do these conventions and whatnot. So that's basically everything I've been doing. The how to play video I'm going to record. My wife is gone today, so I have some time to record some of that video here right after this. So that'll be coming out. I'm going to be starting to work on your character there, Stefan, here soon. I have the sheet started, but not enough to start playtesting as I've been doing the Guardians a lot lately. So we're going to see the Guardians will be coming out here soon. I officially have the first thing of art. I almost have the second thing of art. He is working on Zendis. I guess I could show that right now, couldn't I? Give me a second here and I can show you what Zendis looks like. It's very much a character that it's kind of like a little bug type creature. Let me just pull this up here. Boom. Zendis is going to be right here. Okay, let's see my share my screen one more time. Boom. Check it out. So this is going to be what Zendis looks like. This is not the final draft, but it's essentially an illuminated type bug crab type monster. And it's going to be on a dark background so you can see how the light will really come out. But he's going to have all the shading added onto it. I had him add on little markings, orange markings on the crab as well. So you'll have see orange markings on there, and it'll shine out really bright. It'll look really cool. So that's Zendis. He's going to be the next one that I get sent, probably within the next half a month or something like that. So yeah. Anyways, that is basically everything I wanted to talk about today. I will be going to Gamma here very soon. And so because of that, I have to work on basically the pricing guide for what I'm selling. I have to work on the 8.5 by 11 signage for Punch Kick Block and Montoons to show you what's happening. And then the expansion, basically the sign saying, hey, expansion coming out soon, jump onto the expansion list right now. What was it? Not the email list, QR code. If you wanted to check that out, boom, that is the QR code to the expansion. We currently have 60 people following the project, which is not a lot, but I also haven't been boosting it or promoting it a lot right now because I want to make sure all the art and everything is final. And I still have to play test the new win condition as the final section. I think the Guardians are in a good spot. So now I can start working on that final win condition. Once that win condition's done, I can start working on the Kickstarter page and get to going. So yeah, so that was super awesome. Outside of that, we've been playing Tidal Blades, some things that have been happening personally. Been playing Tidal Blades 2. I'm on, I think, chapter 8 now, something like that. And I changed up my studio a little bit. My light broke down here. So as you can see, I have a piece of art that I need to get a lamp for first, and then I will change that back up. But yeah, with the added tariffs and everything that's happening right now, I have not chosen my manufacturer because I'm waiting to see where the price falls over the next month. After Gamma 2, I'm going to talk with them, see a little bit more how my booth should look, a little bit more how, like what kind of things I need and so on and so forth. But anyways, that is a recap of what's been happening with Monster lately. I'm going to be sending out submissions for game designs here soon to get the next game after PKB and all these exciting things. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that gave you a good insight of what I've been doing lately. And yeah, we will see you in the next stream next Monday, I believe will be the next stream. And then after that, next Monday. Yeah, we should be good. The next 2 Mondays, I should be good. So I played a few games in Chinese New Year. Yes, and it is Chinese New Year right now. So all of my manufacturers are basically away. I haven't heard anything back, which makes sense because they're not working. So I have to wait. But I did narrow it down to my final 3 quotes that I want to go forward with. But yeah, so we'll talk to you guys next Monday. Keep watching the Facebook page, the Discord channel. We play test twice a week in the Discord channel. So if you wanted to jump into our Discord, we do have a game tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time. And then we have a game Friday night every single week, Tuesday, Friday. I think we're going to play PKB on Friday, a quick game of Punch Kick Block. And then after that, Guardians, if someone wants to. We'll talk to you later. Monsters out. And we will see you on the next one.